At the UN, Israel, the Middle East's only true democracy, is slandered like no other country on earth. At the UN, Israel is subjected to consistent, systematic discrimination. Only Israel is permanently scheduled for condemnation at the UN Human Rights Council. Not Iran, not Syria, not North Korea. Only Israel is hounded by UN bodies expressly established to delegitimize its very existence. Only Israel is condemned every year by 20 hostile resolutions in the UN General Assembly. The UN, my friends, has a shameful record of singling out Israel for castigation and condemnation. So I have a question for you. Why would anyone think that the UN could decide on a fair and secure peace for Israel? Yet amazingly, there are some who believe exactly that. They seek to impose terms on Israel in the UN Security Council. And those terms would undoubtedly be stacked against us. They always are. So such an effort in the UN would only convince the Palestinians that they can stab their way to a state. Mind you, not a state next to Israel, but a state instead of Israel. A Security Council resolution to pressure Israel would further harden Palestinian positions, and thereby could actually kill the chances of peace for many, many years. And that is why I hope the United States will maintain its long-standing position to reject such a UN resolution. I was glad to hear the presidential candidates from both parties reaffirm this basic principle. Peace won't come through UN Security Council resolutions, but through direct negotiations between the parties. The best formula for achieving peace remains two states for two peoples, in which a demilitarized Palestinian state finally recognizes the Jewish state. Now, I know there's some skepticism about my views on this. So let me state unequivocally, and here's the acid test. I'm ready to begin such negotiations immediately, without preconditions, anytime, anywhere. That's a fact. But President Abbas is not ready to do so. That's also a fact. There is political will here in Jerusalem. There's no political will there in Ramallah. For the last 5.5 years, President Abbas has refused to sit down and talk with me even for a minute. But that doesn't mean he's been silent. He's helped inculcate a new generation of young Palestinians with murderous hatred for Israel. And my friends, this incitement has deadly consequences. Palestinian children are taught to stab Jews. They're taught that the goal of the Palestinian people is not to establish a state on the West Bank, but in all of Israel, in Akko, Haifa, Nazareth, Jaffa. Now, what I'm about to show you is deeply disturbing. I think you have to see for yourselves what the Palestinians are teaching their children. I want you to see the daily Pledge of Allegiance of Palestinian children. Take a look.
I am the Palestinian child. My toys are the rock and the rifle.
My friend, do you know what the 48 lands are?
Haifa, Jaffa, Acre.
Correct, and Nazareth, and many more cities in these lands. The 48 lands are all ours and will return to us, right?
The official Palestinian Authority schools, the media, and mosques preach to kill Israelis just because they're Jews. And children emulate the murderous videos online.
Take along a rock and knife.
This incitement comes directly from the Palestinian leadership.
We welcome every drop of blood spilled in Jerusalem.
The result of this incitement is hundreds of terror attacks in the past few months. Dozens of Israelis were murdered in those terror attacks. About half of the terrorists are under the age of 18. This incitement fuels terror and prevents peace.
ايش بتقولي لشباب الضفة؟
This is sick.
Hi everybody, my name is Mike. This is my YouTube page, Mox News. Thank you very much for tuning in. Okay, so I thought you'd want to see this. Netanyahu, I can't watch this fool without laughing out loud almost continuously. He's just disgusting. This video he showed of the little girl with the knife, anybody that believes anyone but an Israeli produced that video, and by produced I mean paid for every bit of it to be made, is a fool. Because that is definitely an Israeli produced video. There can be no doubt. I thought you'd want to see this, the complete Netanyahu speech, AIPAC speech, is available at the Alternate Mox News YouTube page. You'll find a clickable link in the text body of the video, right below the video here. There's a little box that says Alternate Mox News YouTube page. Click here, and that'll take you right over to the C-SPAN Junkie page where I have this video posted. I also posted a Hillary Clinton rally from today, Tuesday, in Seattle, and the Bernie Sanders rally from Tuesday in San Diego. So they were both the San Diego, the California people seemed very pumped up for Bernie Sanders. It seemed like a pretty good speech. And the Netanyahu thing, I don't know. It you know, it does this weird like combination of like make me want to puke my guts up and make me laugh out loud almost continuously. If it wasn't so sad, it's just disgusting, horrible piece of shit of a human. Really needs to be in prison to protect children of the world everywhere, not just in Gaza, everywhere. He is a threat to the children of the world, needs to be locked up immediately. Sorry, I was a little bit short on the videos today. I had the dentist this morning. I was in the dentist chair. Had to be at the dentist office at 10 o'clock this morning, and it's like 3 hours round trip on the bus. So it's, you know, hour and a half each way. And I was in the dentist chair for 2.5 fucking hours today to have them do exactly the same thing that they did last week. Just redo everything they did last week because somehow they screwed up what they did last week. And they beat the shit out of me. I'm telling you. Have you ever seen the movie, it's called Marathon Man? Dustin Hoffman and Laurence Olivier. I mean, I'm riding home on the bus and I can't stop thinking about that movie, which it just terrified the shit out of me when I was a kid. It's a pretty good movie if you haven't seen it. Marathon Man, Dustin Hoffman, Laurence Olivier. Scary shit. anyways, that's what I get. That's the kind of experience I have when I go to the dentist. 2.5 hours in the freaking dentist chair to have them redo what they did last week, which includes stabbing a big old needle in the roof of my mouth multiple times. It's like they just beat the crap out of me there. I hate it. Anyways, let's see. So I had to do that, and I have a really hard time sleeping when I have to get up. I know I have to get up in the morning, and I have to be somewhere on time. And this thing about being places on time. I want to be places on time. And so I didn't get any sleep last night, and then, you know, and then when I was getting ready to go to bed last night, the whole Brussels thing happened, so I got back up out of bed and took care of that. I was like, wait a minute, it looks like something's going on. What is it that's happening? I better go cover that. So I got up and covered that, and, you know, whatever. But again, if you want to see this Netanyahu video, if you want to see Bernie Sanders from today or Hillary Clinton from today, that's all available over at the Alternate Mox News YouTube page, a C-SPAN Junkie page. There's a clickable link in the text body of the video. It'll take you straight over to that page. Please go there and subscribe. There's going to be a lot of good videos coming up there. Important videos that you're probably going to want to see. All the rallies, anything over 15 minutes that I can grab off the C-SPAN will be posted there. So thanks very much for your continued support. If you'd like to buy me lunch, that'd be very, very nice of you. There's a clickable link in the text body of the video also, right below the video in the text body, right below the Alternate Mox News YouTube page link. There is a Buy Moxie Lunch link, and that is greatly appreciated. So it really means, makes a huge difference in my world when one of you guys takes a couple of minutes out of your busy world, your busy lives, to give a little something back, put a little something in my bowl. It's it really makes a big difference in my life. So I really super appreciate it. I thank all of you for all of your input and contributions and helping Mox News stick around for going on 10 years on the YouTube. Okay? So stay cool Wednesdays. This war is going to end. Till that day, gotta be strong, because we gotta, it's up to us, you know, what happens in this planet. So, thanks for everything.
Compassion stirred the Buddha to send his monks out into the community. Sworn to chastity and poverty, they wandered the roads, bringing the Buddha's teachings into the world. Go forth, monks, for the happiness of the many, out of compassion for the world. There are beings whose eyes have little dust on them, who will perish if they do not hear the teaching. But if they hear the teaching, they will gain liberation.
The monks exist by begging. We think of begging as kind of a bad thing. Begging in this tradition is a good thing. It's a sign of spiritual purity.
You're not allowed to beg tomorrow's lunch today. Only today's lunch. Then you can't eat from noon until dawn the next day. Then you have to go out and get another lunch. And then in exchange for lunch, you give a lecture. Unless they say we don't want to hear about it, then you don't. But that's the only thing but that forces you to interact with the lay community.
And if you're not serving them, if you're not doing something useful for them, they won't put anything in your bowl, and that will be the end of your community.